There are two ways to live this life, two versions of existence, two roads that separate the ordinary from the great. The first is the path that everyone talks about, the one you're told to walk since the day you were born. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe job, stay quiet, don't stand out, follow the rules, do what's expected, and one day you'll die safe but unknown. It's a life built by others, a script written for you by society, and most people accept it without a fight, because it's easy, it's comfortable, and it's full of company. But there's a second version of life, one they don't talk about, because it's not meant for everyone. It's meant for those who refuse to settle, those who feel something burning inside that whispers, "I was made for more." This version doesn't come with a map. It doesn't come with approval. It doesn't come with comfort. It comes with loneliness, with doubt, with nights where you question your own mind, where you stare at the ceiling wondering if all this pain is worth it. And yet, deep inside, you know the truth. The lonely path is the real one, because when you walk it, you stop being what society wants and start becoming what you were born to be. They say it's lonely at the top, but what they never tell you is that it's also lonely on the way up. See, when you decide to build your own path, you automatically separate yourself from the crowd. You start walking a road where no one's footsteps exist. And that silence, that emptiness, that's what breaks most people. Everyone wants success, but no one wants isolation. Everyone wants power, but no one wants the pain that forges it. Because when you begin your journey, you'll lose things. You'll lose friends who can't understand your obsession. You'll lose relationships that collapse under the weight of your dreams. You'll lose the version of yourself that once cared about being liked. You'll stand in rooms full of people and still feel unseen. You'll scroll through your phone, realizing the world is busy celebrating noise, while you're in silence, building something eternal. And in those moments, your mind will play tricks on you. It'll whisper, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should go back. Maybe this isn't worth it. But listen to me carefully. Every great leader, every conqueror, every world changer felt that exact same pain. They too walked alone before the world followed them. They too questioned everything before history remembered their names. Because loneliness is not a curse, it's a test. It's the universe's way of asking, do you really want this? Do you really mean it? The crowd laughs when you start. They go silent when you continue. And one day, they clap when you win. But in between those moments is a long, brutal, invisible battle that only you will fight. When people sleep, you'll be awake, working. When they party, you'll be planning. When they give up, you'll be bleeding in silence, but still moving forward. And that's the price. That's the cost of becoming more than average. Because greatness demands isolation. It demands obsession. It demands that you walk through darkness alone, so one day you can guide others toward the light. So if you're alone right now, don't break. Don't think you're lost. You're just ahead of everyone else. You're on the part of the journey where leaders are made. Stay there. Endure it. Because one day the same silence that's crushing you today will become the peace that protects you tomorrow. There comes a moment in every leader's life when the silence stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like power. At first, loneliness hurts. It feels like the world abandoned you, like you've been exiled for chasing something bigger than yourself. You look around, no one's there, no support, no validation, just you, your thoughts, and the echo of your own heartbeat. But that's where transformation begins, because in that silence, you start hearing your real voice. Not the one society gave you, not the one your friends expect, but the one that has been buried beneath noise for years. When you walk alone long enough, you begin to see the truth that most people aren't living, they're performing. They act how others want them to act. They dream what others tell them to dream. And when you finally break away from that script, you become dangerous. Because now, no one controls you. No opinion can shake you. No rejection can destroy you. You become self-sufficient. You no longer chase approval, you chase growth. That's the difference between a follower and a leader. Followers need the crowd. Leaders create the crowd. And that creation, that empire, it starts in the quiet. It starts when you're sitting alone in your room, writing your vision, planning your next move, while everyone else is out, trying to impress people who won't even remember their names. See, loneliness teaches you discipline. It teaches you focus. It teaches you to survive on your own fire. When there's no one to clap for you, you learn to clap for yourself. When there's no one to push you, you learn to push yourself harder. That's the power the lonely ones develop, a power that can't be taken, copied, or faked, because it's born from pain, sharpened by rejection, and perfected in silence. People will see your results one day and call you lucky. They'll say, you changed. You're different now. And they'll be right. You did change. Because loneliness changes people permanently. It burns away weakness. It strips off dependency. It forges a mind that doesn't beg for acceptance, but demands respect. So if you're going through that phase right now, that phase where you feel forgotten, misunderstood, and alone, remember this: you are not breaking down. You are breaking through. Every conqueror, every visionary, every soul that ever led humanity forward went through the same dark tunnel of isolation.
And they came out of it unrecognizable, stronger, sharper, and unstoppable. Loneliness is not your enemy, it's your evolution. There will come a day when you look back, and everything will finally make sense. The sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the silence that once felt unbearable, the rejections that almost broke you, all of it, every scar, every moment of doubt, will stand before you as proof that you endured. You will realize you were never truly alone. You were just walking a path so rare. No one else had the courage to walk beside you. Because the truth is, leaders are not born in comfort. They're carved in isolation. Every great empire was built by someone who was first misunderstood. Every revolution started with one person who dared to think differently. And every legend was once just a lonely soul, fighting battles no one could see. You see, loneliness isn't where your story ends. It's where your legacy begins. Because the moment you stop needing the world's approval, the world starts noticing you. The same people who doubted you will one day quote your words, follow your path, and call you inspirational. But by then, you won't be doing it for them. You'll be doing it for the version of you who sat in the dark, fighting tears, refusing to give up. That's the real victory. Not the fame, not the applause, but the quiet knowing that you became everything you said you would be. When the world tried to mold you, you stayed unshaken. When people left, you kept building. When life tested you, you didn't run. You rose. That's leadership, not commanding others, but mastering yourself. Not shouting louder, but standing taller in silence. And one day, someone will look at you and see strength in your eyes. They'll see calm in your chaos, and they'll wonder how you got here. They'll never understand the lonely nights, the wars you fought in your own mind, the tears you wiped alone. But they'll feel the power those moments gave you, because loneliness leaves a mark. It doesn't make you weaker, it refines you. It purifies your vision, hardens your will, and reminds you that you don't need the world to believe in you. You only need you. So walk alone, keep walking, and don't look for company on the path that was made for one. Because one day, when the world finally catches up to where you've been heading all along, they'll call you a leader. But you'll know the truth. You were never just a leader. You were a conqueror of your own loneliness. And that is the highest form of victory.
At first, the world ignores you. Then it doubts you. Then it laughs at you. And then one day it starts whispering your name. That's how every great story unfolds. The world doesn't believe in quiet builders. It doesn't believe in those who choose silence over noise. But time changes everything. Because one day results speak louder than opinions. One day the things you built in loneliness become the things the world can't stop talking about. And the same people who once said, "Why are you wasting your time?" start saying, "I always knew you'd make it." That's the irony of greatness. They only see the shine, never the scars. They see the crown, not the nights you bled for it. They see your confidence, not the fear you had to bury to get here. But deep inside, you remember. You remember every night you cried in silence. You remember the moments when quitting looked easier than breathing. You remember the rejections, the betrayals, the failures that almost broke you. And when you stand tall now, it's not pride you feel, it's gratitude. Because the loneliness that once hurt you has now become your weapon. It taught you patience. It taught you peace. It taught you how to fight with silence and win with calm. That's when you realize the real reward was never fame or applause. The real reward was who you became in the process. You see, every storm you survived alone was building a version of you that can't be destroyed by anything external. And that's what scares the world the most. A person who doesn't need validation, who doesn't break under pressure, and who isn't afraid to walk alone. Because that person, that unshakable soul, can't be controlled. And that's when you stop being just a leader. You become a force. So when the world starts to notice you, don't get lost in their noise again. Don't trade your silence for their approval. Smile and keep walking. Because the same loneliness that built you will protect you when the spotlight tries to blind you. There comes a time in every fighter's life when the noise fades, the battles stop, and the world finally sees what they've become. Not the person who started, but the person who survived. That's when it hits you. Loneliness was never your punishment. It was your training ground. It was the fire that burned away your fears and revealed who you were meant to be all along. See, in the beginning, you were just a dreamer, someone with a vision, someone with hope. But now, you've turned into something else, something unstoppable, something eternal. Because the truth is, leaders don't just build empires, they build themselves. And every empire built within lasts longer than any empire built outside. You learn to survive without validation. You learn to grow without applause. You learn to fight battles in silence and still rise with calmness on your face. That's not just strength, that's mastery. Most people spend their whole lives searching for happiness.
You found something rare, purpose. You stopped asking why me and started saying try me. The loneliness that once broke you has now turned you into something unrecognizable, a soul that doesn't need comfort to feel peace. You now understand that the world's approval is fragile, but your own belief, that's unbreakable. You see, when you walk alone long enough, you stop chasing things. You stop chasing people. You stop chasing the illusion of belonging. And you start chasing the truth. And truth is, greatness isn't about leading others. It's about conquering yourself. When the dust settles and the cheers fade, what remains isn't your name. It's your impact. It's the quiet echo of the lives you changed. By daring to walk your path alone, you'll realize you are never here to fit in. You are here to break patterns, to disrupt comfort, to remind the world what courage looks like. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you were chosen to be lonely. Because not everyone can carry that weight. Not everyone can be misunderstood for years and still move with grace. Not everyone can be doubted by everyone and still believe in themselves. But you did. You carried the silence like armor. You turned isolation into discipline. And you transformed pain into poetry. So now, when you look in the mirror, you don't see someone who's missing people. You see someone who's becoming the person others need. That's what true leadership is. Not demanding followers, but becoming the light people can find themselves in. And here's the final truth. One day, you will leave this world. Your body will turn to dust. Your voice will fade. Your name might be forgotten. But what you stood for, that will remain. Because legacies aren't built on fame. They're built on fire. The fire to keep going when no one sees you. The fire to believe when no one believes in you. The fire to stand tall when the world pushes you down. That's immortality, not living forever, but living in a way that can never be erased. So, when the nights get dark again, when loneliness returns to test you once more, welcome it, smile at it, because now you know it's not here to hurt you, it's here to remind you. You're chosen, you're rare, and you're not just a leader anymore. You are a legend in the making.